be back in a little while. We're going to go to a classic re-recording of the famous song Wipeout by the Safaris, and then our guest back in the studio will be Randy Nauert, who played on that new recording.
Herman, what do you want to do today?
Well, surfing or music, what do you reckon?
Well, let's play music for a while.
Okay, I know, great song. Drum song, famous in the States.
Yeah.
Goes like this.
I know that song. I recorded that 20 years ago.
Oh, come on. Did
Yeah.
you? Did?
Yeah, remember it's...
Well, that's a pretty wild video. You know that song was recorded a long time ago, and the gentleman sitting beside me, he was one of the original players on that recording. His name's Randy Nauert, and just before I talk to him tonight, I've got to show you a couple of classic things. This thing here is actually the first surf music album, and it was called Surf Beat, and it's since been re-released, but this is actually an original version right here. And one of the other things that I wanted to show you was, this is pretty classic, but this is the roots of Wavebites right here. This was the album from the old surf show called Surf's Up with Stan Richards, and the Challengers used to do the music on that show, and Randy, of course, played bass on that. Randy, it must feel really good after all these years to get back and re-record a song as famous as Wipeout. How did you get mixed up in doing that again?
Well, I live out in Malibu on Broad Beach, and one of my neighbors is part of the management of the German group The Scorpions. And we became friends, and they'd moved out from New York. They were New York people, so I'd take them sailing on the Hobie Cat and show them around. And this German fellow showed up one night with his wife. She was in the April penthouse, and they walk in, you know, very exotic, and sit down and talk, and says, "Oh, David, I did this song. It's old tune, but it's for the new album. It's a drum song. You like it? It's drum instrumental. But we did it up to date. It's a song called Wipeout." And everybody got very quiet, and I let him talk for a while, and then I said, well, you know, I recorded that a long time ago. He says, "Oh, you did? You still play the bass?" And I said, a little bit. And he said, "Well, come by the studio. Try it. If it's good, I use it." And I said, "Now, Herman, I played on the real thing. You want me to audition for an imitation?" He said, okay, you be the judge. You like it." So Eddie Van Halen, he plays the leads, you know, sequence of flanger really grabs you deep, you know. So I did it, and it came out pretty good. They moved it from C to heavy metal A, and the bass now plays the melody. And then Herman wanted to do a video, and so we used my house and recruited the girls from around the pool and did it. And then I took him sailing on the Hobie Cat because he couldn't really surf. There's not a lot of beachfront property in Germany. And we took him out in about a 6-foot day and wiped him out, tore the mast off the Hobie Cat. He says, I said, now Herman, you've recorded it, now you've experienced the wipeout. He says, oh, that's great, can we do that again? It was about a $250 crash, the rudders broke and a few other things. But
you know, like I said in the introduction, the old show Surf's Up with Stan Richards. I'm sure things have changed a lot since the days of when you were doing a TV show on surfing, what, that would be 20 years ago now.
Yeah, most of it, you mean musically or?
Well, in both ways. In those days it was all longboards and musically, actually, you know.
I still ride a longboard.
Well, you know, we all do at times.
Oh yeah. I like to do drop knee turns. Malibu's nice. I grew up in Palos Verdes, so I'm goofy foot. So I complain about the coastline because it's all rights in Malibu except for a few spots. But yeah, the boards have changed, music's changed. That first album you showed we did in 3.5 hours, and it was 2-track. And
There's none of these things where you come in and just play the bass part and then you add it in later on. It was just in the studio and record the song.
We did just a live show. We went in, set up our equipment, and they put the mics down, and we did our show, and we did the songs 2 or 3 times, and then they put them together with a piece of tape, and that was the record, and it came out and did about 200,000 units in '62. That was quite a few records then. Of course, we didn't get paid.
You know, one of the things that's real interesting to me is we were talking a little bit about surf music has kind of influenced a lot of people today. You know, even today people look back and the guitar solos, the beat that surf music had, you still see it surfacing in a lot of things that are done today. You were saying a little while ago that Elvis Costello, for instance, is a surf music fan.
Right. We just did that repackage, and for his label, he's a connoisseur of good music, and he wanted to have a good album of surf music, so he did 18 of our songs, and it just came out in England this summer. It's not available here, but the English are more into surfing. Have you been to England lately and seen all the boards on cars? Cornwall is...
Well, of course, you know, they have the professional event. I haven't been there for, well, since the 70s, but,
yeah,
you know, they have a big professional event there now every year.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a big status thing now to have the surfboard on the car.
Yeah, water's cold there. I was there the summer before last. It was freezing, but it's good. It's nice to... And the music is simple, and I think good music, good popular music has high energy and simple, and that's what a lot of groups do. The bass player in the Moody Blues is a friend of mine. He always claims the Moody Blues are really a surf band, but English.
You still surf a lot, but do you play a lot of music still too?
I produce and publish songs and manage artists. And I play a little bit. Herman made me practice, though. It's a lot of hard work, you know. The Scorpions work very hard, and they're a great group. And they play the same kind of high metabolism music that we used to do. And I just as soon let them go out and tour 200 dates a year. Although I did enjoy going to Rio. The girls and the beaches there are pretty nice. Water's nice, too.
So where do you get in the water these days when you're out there doing your drop knee turns, as you like to do?
Mostly Malibu. We have there's a couple other guys that I've grown up with out there, John Van Hammersveld and a few others. And we, you know, you drive in and out of Hollywood to do your record business stuff. You have 24 miles of coastline, so you get to check out the waves. And some days, you know, you don't quite make it all the way, or you stop on the way home. You know, Malibu's a nice place. I'm sure you've surfed there quite a bit.
Yeah, I've surfed there a few times. It's a fantastic wave. Yeah,
as a matter of fact, I think we were neighbors but didn't know it for a while up there. You don't always know all your neighbors in Malibu. Everyone's very discreet, right?
Well, we're stoked you could come on the show and impart upon us some of this great history about surf music and
thank you.
A little bit of the old surf tunes from the Challenges.
Great, thank you. It's a pleasure.
That was a great show and a great interview with Randy Nauert, and some real history there about surf music and the old surfing show Surf's Up. We're going to close over a video tonight, another video that Randy bought us, and we'll be back with another great show next week.
My son, where will it go when I'm gone? I wish I knew, is there a life, another life to come? Help my soul, don't you know life isn't that long? I have to know So help me please before I